Okay, can I start?
Go on, you can start. We are waiting. Someone should kick off, please. Let's start. How has it been so far? What have been our challenges so far?
Okay, it has actually been a wonderful experience all this while. And basically, after the first training concerning the indicator, that's the master's indicator, that's that Venom indicator. So I tried it on Friday. So there was some particular place I was having difficulties. So I later got the understanding, because if you check a place, you find out that you see the red, this thing, the Venom sign, the bearish, all of a sudden we change to bullish. So, but I now had an understanding from when I watched the video again that you have to wait. That if it changes to bullish and it does not cross that middle line, that means you are not supposed to enter a sell until it crosses the middle line. But there are some that will actually reverse back to blue. So you have to be very sure to see, because that middle line is one of the confirmation that we have to still check before you enter your trade. And apart from that, we also, what was the only challenge I had before? But with that, by watching the video over and over again, I got to understand that yes, it's not that you just watch the color to change, but you also have to check whether it is below the middle line or above the middle line before you enter a trade.
Okay. So that's the middle line you're talking about is the pivot line. So it's the middle pivot line. This is it. This very thick line.
Hello?
Yeah. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
I hope you can all see my screen. So this pivot line that is it lemon color or yellowish? So that's what he's referring to. Just for others so that you can understand what he's trying to tell us. Okay. So Chris, can we hear from you? How's it been?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. It has been wonderful this far. I just like after sharing this the video of our last meeting. Yeah, so I had to I checked the video and I followed the instructions on the video to set up this using this indicator on my chart, which I've done. But I've been trading so far on my phone using the Ichimoku indicator, because we can install this one on the phone.
No, you can't install it on the phone.
Yeah, so I've been using, so mostly I've been doing my tradings with my phone. So and that's it. And it has been wonderful so far. No question and for now, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
that is. Did you watch the video?
Did you watch the video? Yeah, I did. I watched all the videos.
Okay,
everything.
I think you the audio, you put something on.
What?
Are you using earpiece? I'm hearing myself.
No, I'm hearing myself. Okay, let me put my phone away. Maybe it's the transmission of my phone.
Oh, okay.
What about now?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what's up is that we're hearing ourselves.
Okay.
Did you connect with two devices?
No, it's just with one.
Okay, so just go on, just go on.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I watched both videos. I even went on your YouTube channel to check more videos to just have a better understanding of the strategy. I even watched the one of Ichimoku also. That's the Ichimoku cloud and how to set it up and everything. So I tried everything and I saw, but I've not really tried it on a live trade because it was on a weekend that I had to just check it. So I was just trying to analyze it through normal cryptocurrency to see how it is running and how everything is going. So I've not really tested it. So I should be testing it from on Monday. But my question is, this strategy here that is on this Trader 4, is it the same indicator with the same with Ichimoku on the phone?
Okay, no, this is still
Okay.
yeah. This indicator is called Venom. All right.
Venom.
So,
Okay.
helps to capture. Let me move. So it helps to capture the moves in the market. All right. It helps to capture whether the hub is going on uptrend or is going in downtrend. Okay. So I got this indicator and then I've been able to customize it with the help of other indicators like the dynamic pivot. All right. So to achieve this particular setup that is here presently. Okay, and that was why I explained it in that previous video with us. All right. So before we go on this night, I want to share some things with us. Okay, I want to share some things with us that will help us as we continue. And then when we drop the call, either later tonight or tomorrow, I will share a link with us so that we can register an account on that platform. And then we'll all open a demo account, a $100,000 demo account on that particular platform. That is where we run our tests from. If you understand what I mean, our tests from, okay? So it's on that platform that you know whether you are passing our test that will be giving us or not. All right, so I will share the link to register with us later tonight. However, let me share with us what I have for tonight. It is important for us to discuss about all this at this point. All right, and then, okay, as soon as we drop this call tonight, I'm going to share like 2 links with us. One on fundamental analysis that will explain fundamental analysis to us. Okay, what it means, all right? And then another on technical analysis that will explain it to us. So it will tell us basically the difference between these two. Do you understand? So I will share both with us tonight, all right? So what I'm trying to do is that so that we can cover up the time. What I'm trying to do is that whatever it is will take much time, except that which we need to really explain and talk about. It is just information based. I'd rather share a link or the video with us so that we can watch, okay? And then those that we really need to talk and those that are practical oriented, then those are the ones that we communicate directly on live meetings like this. Okay, so let me go ahead to share with us what I really want us to discuss tonight. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
I'll be sure what you are seeing on the screen.
Tips
Okay,
for
great.
success.
Great. All right, so number 1, start small and grow big. Okay, so the undone of many guys that are coming into Forex is that they want to come into Forex and make millions in a day. Okay, so they have $100 account and in 1 week they want to turn it to $200. Okay, you know what we hand that guy? He will blow his account.
Exactly.
He will blow his account. So when you see professional traders, all right, what we are after is, and I want you to take this very well, what we are after is not about doubling your account a day, a week, a month. No. What we are after is consistency and profitability. You understand? So Forex is more like, should I call it a game? Okay, so it is a market. You are not the market maker. The big banks are the market makers. They are the ones that really determine what happens in the market. Okay, but we retail traders, or so to say, except what we are trying to do is to try to get insight from how institutions also trade. Okay, so we are not the market makers. We only take advantage of the volatility of the market, which I had mentioned before, to cash out some profit. Okay, so we are not the market maker. All right. So all right. So what I advise is that start small and grow big. For example, you want to start trading, okay? Don't start with $5,000 account, $1,000 account. I want to ask us a question. What money do you have now that if that cash should get misplaced in your hand, you won't cry, it won't touch you much? How much? Share with us, let's know. Hello, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, how much? Okay, how much?
Probably 5 or 10K or 20.
You said
Probably 10,000.
10,000 naira, okay.
10,000 naira, okay.
Who else want to say something?
Who else?
Let's say like $100.
$100, okay. That was like 50K. All right. Who else?
Yeah, same here, sir. $100.
$100, that's like 50K. Okay. So what I advise after asking this question is that don't start your trading career with more than that amount that if you misplace, it won't touch you. You won't cry. Do you get my point now?
Yeah, I get your point now.
So don't start if you know that you're okay. I remember there was a time when I was growing up. Guys, if 5 naira to misplace, get missing. All right. Because I know how much I take to school that time. I think when I'm going home, when I was young, then they give me about 10 naira and I will eat well. Part of the money I will enter transport to school. At the point it increased to 15 naira. So you can imagine misplacing 5 naira in a day. I will cry. Okay. But at the time, I was able to overcome that 5 naira. There was a time, now let me tell us, there was a time I was trading live accounts. I was trading a live account, and in a singular trade, I lost over $1,000 in one trade. Like,
Wow.
how will you feel if you lose $1,000 in a singular trade? How will you feel?
Feel bad, very bad.
Okay, so you said you feel bad, all right, and then it will most likely affect your trade. You will get so emotional.
You want to recover at all costs.
It will put you under stress, and if you should do that, that is how you continue to lose and lose and lose again. So what happened that day was that almost immediately I entered another trade again, and then my total loss that day was about $2,000. That's about $1 million. I'm talking about two years ago. So I lost about $1 million that day. And then after it happened, I just said, Tolu, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not trading again. I went to sleep. So that day I went to sleep. Okay? So, wow. And then when I woke up, I did not even open my chart. I did not open my system. I just went out somewhere. I went to eat. Okay. And what happened was, I think that day was on a Wednesday. For the remaining days of that week, I did not open my chart again because I was emotionally touched. Okay. Because that was a huge loss for me. All right. That was about 10% or thereabout of my account then, and it was a huge one for me. So I used to advise that never trade. Now this is the statement: never trade with a money that you are not emotionally, you will not be emotionally balanced with if you lose that money. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yes.
So over the years, you see, I've outgrown that level of shaking with $2,000, shaking with 1,000. I've outgrown that level. That was then. Okay, I felt it for like a week. Then what I did was I gathered myself back and I came into the system again. And I tell you, I made that profit back within a month or thereabout. So I lost it in a day, but it took me a month to make it back. All right, so that is what trading is. Start small and grow big. If you start with all your savings and you lose that thing, man, it will affect you. You go sick for like 2 months. Again, so start with something small. That is what I advise. Reason is, see, even that little money that you say you want to start with, you see the way you are confident with trading on a demo account. Do you know that when you first enter that demo trade, are you on profit or you are on loss when you first entered it? The moment you enter it,
on loss because of spread.
You are on
lost.
You are on loss immediately. So what happens is that if it is a real money, the moment you enter that trade and you are on loss immediately like this, what happens to you is that you start shaking. That money is going. You understand? That happens to every starter. It happens to every starter. All right. But what I want you to know inside of your mind is that there's always a percentage of your account that you should risk in every trade. So what I say is that never ever risk more than 1 to 2% of your account per trade. Do you understand that? So
yes.
Every singular trade, never ever risk more than 1 to 2% of your account. So that takes us to number 2 that I have on my list here. Always use a stop loss order in all of your trades, not part of your trades. In all of your trades, make sure you always have a stop loss order. So you remember, right? We've been putting stop losses, right?
Yes, sir.
In our trade. So what stop loss means is that by the time you calculate the amount that you will lose, if for instance, if the trade did not go in the direction that you have analyzed, if it goes the opposite way, stop loss order, what it will do is that it will take you out of the trade and you will take that loss, right?
Yes.
That's what it will do. So by the time you calculate the amount that you will lose after setting the stop loss, it should not be more than 1 to 2%. 2% is the maximum. 1.5% of your account. It must not be more than that. So you see me on my funded account, I'm trading a let's say 200K account. Per trade, I don't lose more than 3,000 naira per trade, $3,000 per trade, I mean. Most times it's $2,000 that I set as my stop loss. And then my target is something like, is it that 4K or 5K or 6K per trade? You understand? So my risk to reward ratio is usually 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. Okay, so never ever risk more than 2% of your account per trade. Another thing that I used to tell my students is that, which I am practicing myself. If you enter a trade in a day and it hits your stop loss, you run to a loss. Enter another trade that day. if your second trade for that day runs to a loss again, please don't enter the third trade for that day. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Any day you make 2 consecutive losses, let that be all for that day. Do you get that? And
Yes.
never enter any trade until it fulfills the condition of your trading plan. So very soon, next week, we'll all work on trading plan together. But before we go to trading plan, I want all of us, okay, to have a trading strategy that we like personally, that we want to start using, because that is what you will develop your trading plan around. Do you get me now? So
Yes,
never ever, if you make 2 consecutive losses, if you have 2 consecutive losses in a day, please don't enter the third trade for that day. Is it on the same pair? What pair are you talking about, Dennis?
You said we should never enter a trade if we lose it twice. So I'm saying maybe, let's say you are trading Euro USD and the first trade, you went on a loss. Now, is it that same Euro USD that you are still going to trade on the second trade?
Okay. This is my discipline, or this is my trade. One of my trading plans. One of the items on my trading plan is that I trade only one currency pair. I don't trade 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't diversify yourself so much. When you are, in fact, when you are starting out, focus on one currency pair. Master it very well. Okay. Since the beginning of this year, I've just been trading GJ. Last year, till November, I was trading gold USD. So don't trade 4, don't trade 5, so that you can focus. Focus on one. You see, all of them, you can make profit on all of them, and you can make losses on all of them. So just identify one that you are okay with. You know why during my trainings, I advise my students to start with Euro USD. Number 1, it's one of the most popular, all right? Number 2, it is not as volatile as, let's say, gold, pound pairs, that's JBP pairs, all right, and the likes. So that's why I always advise, so that my students, at least, they'll be more comfortable with that. And after mastering it, if you think you want to test other ones, why not? But I always advise my students to start with Euro USD. You get, so don't trade different pairs at the same time. Stick to one. You get, stick to one. Okay. So as I was saying, always use stop loss order. Okay, so number 3 on my list says that stick to your strategy. This is where discipline comes in. Remember, in our first class, I mentioned 3 things: KPD, knowledge, patience, and discipline. It might take a long time for your setup to form, for you to enter a trade. Be patient, please. You might sit with system or be checking your phone all day, and it might be later in the evening that the setup will form. Please wait till your setup is right before you enter any trade. There's something that is called FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out. Fear of missing out, F-O-M-O. Please don't fall under that emotional blackmail. Market will always present opportunities for each and every one of us. So don't be too anxious to enter into the market. All right. So always stick to your strategy. So now I'll be giving us, like, we have worked with how many strategies now? 2, right? Is it 2 or 3? So the first one was EMA, right? Then we worked on Ichimoku, and then we've also worked on Venom. So I'll give us like 2 more. Of all of them that I will give us, you know what? Don't trade with all of them. So you will now need to go back and go and do your own back testing, like practice with each and every one of them very well. Any one of them that you think you are comfortable with, that is the only one that you should trade with, and stick with that one very well, because there's no strategy. Now, hear it from me. There's no strategy that is 100% perfect. Every one of them will have drawdown. But what is important in trading is that we make more profit. There are times that you make losses, but what is important that you make more profit than losses. That is what is important in Forex trading. Do you understand? Are we on together? All right.
Yes.
So stick to your strategy. Number 4, do not stop the profit until it hits your TP. Don't be in a hurry to rush out of the trade because and then you're afraid that you should not go back again and wipe up all your losses. No, don't be in a hurry. Number 5, always follow the trend. So the trend is your friend. Okay, never ever trade against the trend. So
dangerous.
If you are trading against the trend, there's tendency that there can just be a spike and then it will take you off the trade. So never ever trade against the trend. Always follow the trend. The trend is your friend. If you don't remember anything, remember what I'm saying now. The trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. So I'm sure that Ichimoku will have helped us a long deal. Okay. Anytime the candle is opening above the cloud, it means that we are in a uptrend, right? So don't ever enter a sell trade when your candles, when the trend, when we are in a uptrend. Always only look for buy opportunities. And whenever we are in a downtrend, what opportunities are we looking for?
Sell opportunities.
Sell opportunities. So no matter how tempting it might look like, never ever trade against the trend. If you want to be a profitable trader, I used to say it, never ever trade against the trend. Number 6, avoid emotional trading. So when you are not happy, when somebody just broke your heart, when you are too excited, when you just won a jackpot. Another thing that I wanted to say that time is that when you enter a trade in a day, you make profit. And peradventure, another opportunity shows up. Then you enter a second trade in that day and you make another profit. Please don't enter the third one. If you enter the third one in that day, there's every probability that you might run at a loss. You know why? Excitement has set in. Your emotion will begin to push you. You now begin to feel like a boss. And you know, as far as Forex is concerned, there's no boss. Because you are not the market maker. And if you enter the third one out of excitement, there's tendency that you might lose. I'm telling you, right? So I'm saying all this out of experience. Number 7, close unsuccessful position. So, you know, a lot of us, we used to do something when you enter a trade, and then maybe it was going, you enter a buy trade, and then probably it was going in an uptrend, and then it now starts going back to retest. Then it now goes below the point of entry, and then you are now running at a loss. So you notice that the trade has almost reached your stop loss, but because you are like, this trade can still go back up, let me move my stop loss a bit more. You are moving your stop loss. Don't ever do that. Let it hit your stop loss and then be patient to wait for another opportunity. That is how a lot of us had blown our account in the past, because you put a stop loss. Why the stop loss initially? It will discipline yourself. But because of emotional attachment, you are like, oh, no, you start moving your stop loss downward, and then it will now look like the more you move your stop loss, the more it follows you. Something funny used to happen. And then by the time it now hits your money at the end of the day, after you've moved, and then you're like, I can't move it any longer. Then by the time it now takes you out of it, then it now starts going back up. So please, never move your stop loss. Never move your stop loss, all right? If the trade is unsuccessful and you discover that it's going against what you have analyzed, let it take you out of the trade and be patient enough to wait for another opportunity, all right? Okay, so number 8, be a friend of your Forex chart. Even over the weekend, when the market is not going, you know what you do? Check your chart. What I used to do is that I open my desktop system on Sundays after church, on Saturdays when I'm free. I open my chart, and then I begin to check past trade histories. I see how setups had happened. You know why? I'm sure a lot of us, when we were in school, we used to do something. Whenever we are preparing for exam, we used to read past questions. Why do we read past questions?
To give you a hint of the kind of question that will come out in the exam.
Chris, Dennis, why do you read past questions?
So I can know what's going to happen next in the future, because the past is what everything is being repeated. So the past will determine the future. So I have to just check the past so I can know what is going to come out in the future.
Yes, it will give you a pointer on your expectations, like what questions are going to come, in future.
Okay.
Yeah, it will give you a clue of what you'll be expecting.
Okay. So thank you very much. That is why we use technical analysis, because even in Forex, history always repeats itself. So what I do is that even when the market is closed, I open my chart and I check how setups had been in the past. You remember when you were watching that this thing on candlestick patterns, right? I emphasized in that video that history always repeats itself.
Yes.
You understand? So during the weekend, be a friend of your chart. Go back and go and see what has happened in the past. Go back and go and see what has happened in the past. Then number 9, avoid greed. Don't be greedy. If you are greedy, you will lose money. You know, I gave us a formula. I said, before you enter any trade, divide your equity, your account balance, or your account balance by what?
50,000.
By 50,000. That is the lot size you should use. A lot of people will use some lot size that are higher out of greed because they want to really make money. And then because of that, you just go against them by little pips. What happens? Your account is blown. Okay, so don't be greedy. If you make 1% of your account in a day, it's a whole lot. I hope you know.
Yes, sir.
I hope you know. All right. So avoid greed. Don't be greedy. Okay? Don't be greedy. And then number 10, stay disciplined. Be disciplined with your plan. Be disciplined with your plan. So don't be greedy, and then be disciplined with your plan. Be disciplined with your trading plan. Whatever it is you've said, if the setup you are looking for, if it has not yet formed, don't enter any trade. You know, we used to say something in church, right? We used to say that allow God to lead you. You can imagine somebody going ahead of God in life. You don't know the way, and then you are going ahead of the person that knows the way. What will happen? You get, so follow the trend. If you have set up a plan, you've set up a strategy, follow it to the end. Don't go away from it. Okay, don't go away from it. All right. So after now, we'll shut down now quickly, and then we'll now join again. Okay, the session is almost rounding up, so we'll shut down now. I will end the meeting. Then after about 5-10 minutes, I want to save this video that I've recorded. They will now join again through the same link. Okay, so Dennis, you asked me, you said what lot size should a beginner trader use to be on a safer side? Yeah, it's a calculation that I've explained to us before. What is the size of the account?
Divide by 50,000.
Divide it by 50,000. Whatever you get, that is the lot size that you should use. Do you understand? All right. So let's leave the meeting now, and then let's join back again. I will tell us when to join. When I'm back on, I'll tell us when to join so that we wrap up with the meeting. All right.